Hey, what's up? This is Gary.
And Nate.
And this is the Gary
And Nate
podcast. Damn, we're getting it together.
Yeah, we on it.
Let's just jump into our schedule. I'll go first.
Ready to go.
I am in Charlotte this weekend.
Nice.
At the Comedy Zone. Then I'm taking a weekend off.
Okay.
I'm going to the Bahamas, a little vacation.
There you go.
Then Vegas, July 12th at the Palms Casino, the Pearl Theater.
How long are you gonna be on vacation?
6 days.
Yeah, man.
Well, I was gonna go to Spain because I got these loaded friends that I vacation
Madrid,
with.
Barcelona.
I let them plan it. They didn't do it all. But I picked up a show July 7th as a charity gig for Jaylen Brown of the Celtics.
Nice.
So he's doing something in Boston.
Okay.
So it just cut the trip short.
When is that one?
That's July 7th.
Okay.
But that's a charity event.
It's amazing.
So I thought I was off like till July 12th.
We're literally in every city 2 and 3 weeks from each other.
Oh, really?
Literally.
We're
I'm headed I did Boston.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're headed to Boston. You'll be there July 7th, and I will close to each other in every city.
When's the last time you did Vegas?
I haven't done Vegas for a year and a half. I did the theater at Virgin.
Oh, I love that place.
It was really cool. Yeah. And they put me in a crazy room with like vaulted ceilings and like an actual like whole, all the instruments set up for a band and stuff.
So that's where we stayed when we did Back on the Strip. That was our hotel for 2 months.
Nice.
And so I don't think I could ever stay there again.
It's just too much staying there.
We stayed at Caesar's Palace for Think Like a Man 2.
Okay.
And we stayed at the Virgin for Back on the Strip. And I was going, don't ever ask. Because both those hotels, I'm like, I knew too much. I got sick of the coffee shops.
Right.
I got sick of the restaurant. The Virgin does have a great sports bar though.
Yes.
That and the smoothie spot was dope too.
Yeah, the smoothie spot by the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go up there. My room was behind that. Like you go through the smoothie
Oh, I
shop.
know where you was at.
Yeah.
That's where Tiff was staying.
Okay.
Yeah, Tiff was there.
Yeah, so that's where they stuck me back in there. I just think maybe it was just open. You know what I'm saying? The guy that's like the hospitality manager hits me often. He's like, you have gambling credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never won. Did you win?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't win shit at the Virgin.
No, man, you got to lock in, man. I had certain slots that I, like specific games. And so I went in there and like looked around and scoped for a little bit. And then I was like, okay, that's the game I like. Excuse me, they have another one over there. Okay, and then I just kind of saw like the flow of traffic where energy was, and I was like, I'm gonna go on this one because they had it kind of front and center. But I wanted to do it during like an off hour, and so at the end of the day, I could be completely wrong, but my theory worked because within 10 minutes it was like in the bonus twice, and I was like, okay.
On a slot machine?
Oh yeah.
Slot machine is all luck.
No. Slot machines I think it's a game. It's odds. For instance, there's a such thing as a hot slot machine, right? Like it's just you're on it and it just keeps paying. It's going to the bonus often. Then there's cold ones where you're like, damn, I cannot get in the bonus no matter how many times I tap this thing. You could be there all night long, go to the bonus once. Somebody next to you is like every other spin. You're like, what the fuck, right? So it takes a lot of self-control to recognize when one is cold and be like, you know what? I'm not going to try and warm it up. I'm going to get up off of this and find one that's hot. And so I can tell pretty soon, like, I can tell if it's about to be a losing night. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just find something else to do.
I invested in an app that hasn't gone public yet.
Okay.
And they've definitely partners with casinos in Tahoe and Reno.
Nice.
I don't know about Vegas yet because it's not public. And it's an app for avid gamblers, and will partner with certain slots, and it'll tell you when's the last time they hit.
Nice.
Because you're still not guaranteed to hit.
Right.
But you're like, oh, the jackpot hasn't been hit in 8 months.
Right.
Or a big jackpot like this. Yeah, I'm going to go to that casino and play that.
It's due. That's essentially, it's due. It's like pool tabs. You know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Pool tabs are in bars. So they give the bar like a box of these pool tabs. It's a little piece of paper and you literally pull the tab. And under it, you either win or lose. Ain't no scratching, ain't no nothing. You just pull it, pull the tab, pull the tab. So people go buy, like, let me get 50 pool tabs. They sit down, they drink and eat or whatever, and they're just like shucking these things. And
is that like a bingo halls and stuff like that? Is that what they're at?
Sometimes, but a lot of times it's in like dive bars.
Okay.
Right, so you'll go in and you'll see all of the, like, just look around for you. If they have them, you'll see like all, it's like a ton, like they'll have paperwork for cherries and banana. Like it'll leave.
I know what those are.
It's a pool tab.
I haven't seen this. You took me back to my trailer park days.
Yeah.
It took me a minute.
Sure.
I go, wait, when you said cherries and bananas, I go, wait a minute.
Yeah, you remember, you'll see the shit, they're like, all right, you get 3 cherries as a win, you get this, like, so you're just sitting there and you just see people like sitting there like zombies just shucking these pool tabs, but they're talking, how are the kids, and just shucking them. Oh, got one. Well, they literally in a box of pool tabs, unopened before the venue even cracks it for the public consumption, is X amount of wins, right? So, like, it's guaranteed, like, all right, each box has this amount of wins in it or whatever. And so if it ain't been hit, the chances that it's in the remaining ones are much higher. And this is why there's like an entire, like if you get pull tabs at your bar, like I'm looking into them for the lounge at the club, you have to monitor it because your staff will literally like watch people get pull tabs and not win and be like, yeah, they're like 7/8 through the box, like, shit, they ain't hit the big one, the little one, 2 little ones, a medium one. And then on that thing that says the wins, like it'll say which ones got hit. So there's like X's over the ones that have been hit. So when you see the $1,500 one that still ain't been hit and there's 5 pool tabs left, it's like, shit.
One of those is going to hit.
Like, it literally has to. Unless they lied about something actually getting hit.
When you buy a box like that, though, like some scratch offs, they'll say you could win $100,000.
Yeah.
So when you buy a box, there's no guarantee you're going to have a big one in there, right?
No, that's the thing. Pool tabs in a box, whatever the biggest one is in that bitch. Right? Like if it says there's the 5,000, 2,000, and 1,000, 650s are in there, that's out of, let's see, 5.
How big's the box? Because people would just buy a box.
It needs to make sense.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't make sense to just buy it outright. Like you need to be the one that hits that one ticket.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about you could buy the box, but how much the box is.
Right, but you at cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not going to turn you a profit. The box probably costs like what all the prizes are.
Oh, got it.
Or probably a little bit more than what all the prizes are, right? So let's say there's
that makes sense.
$5,000 worth of prizes in the box. Well, one box for me is going to cost, $5,500. So then the business that makes the pool tabs pulls $500 from every box I buy. But then you sell each pool tab in a box that has that kind of prizes for $5.
Yeah.
And with 5,000 in that box, that's $2,500 you can pull down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it works out.
It reminds me of when I had my Tuesday night spot in Cincinnati. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, he started coming every week. So we partnered and we called it Chad Johnson's Too Funny Tuesday, hosted by Gary Owen.
Nice.
And at that time, you were at the level we would have brought you. Because at that time, we brought Lil Rel.
Nice.
We brought Kevin.
Yeah.
We brought everybody.
Right.
It was like Tuesday night in Cincinnati. I'd call them. Most people would be like,
I did an off night in Cincinnati, but it was Judy Brown. Judy Brown.
She took it from me.
At the Levy.
She took it from me. She literally took my concept and I got too busy and straight up just took it.
Really?
And she called it like Judy Brown's, instead of Too Funny Tuesday, she called it like Funky Tuesday or something.
Well, it was popping.
It was the same.
At the Levy Improv or whatever?
I mean, the audience was already built in.
Yeah.
I could, and my thing, and God bless her, I wasn't mad. My thing was just ask me. I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? You don't want to get that rep like you're going to take something.
I don't think something can be took now that I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's
but I'm
management.
saying you literally like took the exact same concept.
Yeah, but one-nighters aren't a thing. The venue should have been like, hey, yo, Gary.
Yeah.
We have another promoter that wants to do this Tuesday night. This concept is still urban.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just straight up.
Yeah.
The Improv in Hollywood would not give me a Mo Wetter Wednesdays.
Fat Tuesday.
You get what I'm saying?
Tripping on Tuesday. Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, I chose Tuesday night because when I moved back to Cincinnati 20 years ago, there was nothing to do on Tuesday. And I go, I'm always in town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I was like, I'm going to do Tuesday because the football players were off on Tuesday. And that means the hoes come. You get a couple NFL guys.
And then here they come.
And all of a sudden the whole team was showing up.
Yeah.
It was legendary. But anyways, what I was getting at was Chad decided he's going to give away a car one night.
Shit.
A Lexus, brand new.
Just fucking ape shit.
He's going up every Tuesday and he's giving away tickets to the football games. And if it was away, he flew in and put you up. He just doing shit like that.
Wow.
That's why don't ever say anything bad about Chad Johnson to me. I saw how generous he was to people. Literally.
So is it a facade online when he's like, I really just eat McDonald's?
No, that's not a facade.
I got a baby dick and I ain't got no money.
No, he just doesn't spend his money like that. But he does spend his money. He's not a normal.
He's not engorging.
Athlete. Yeah. But I saw the good and bad side of people with this. And you being a club owner and now the last couple of years coming into some money, you appreciate it.
I'm not in the money yet, but I see where I will be.
Right. He flew these people to Cleveland, put them up, got them tickets to the game, and that's enough. The motherfuckers came to him on Tuesday and said, hey, it cost us like $28 to catch a cab from the hotel to the game. I was so mad. You know me, I don't snap on people.
Right.
I said, are you serious right now? It was none of my business.
Right.
It was not my money. Are you serious right now? I started bringing it up. I talked about them on stage. I told them, don't come back no more. I said, don't come back here no more.
Right.
I said, I don't want people like you in my life. I don't want people like you coming to my shows.
I'm fucking grateful. The entire trip, everything. And they're like,
tickets to the game.
You said you were covering everything, bro, and $28
Facts
was missing. Also, we had pretzels.
Yeah.
And
so he says, I'm going to give away a Lexus. And so he comes to me.
So it was sold out. The whole show's been.
Well, we're sold out anyways.
Yes.
When he said I'm giving away a Lexus next week, it sold out immediately. It was like Dave Chappelle was coming.
Right.
Right. So he calls me Tuesday, like at 5. The show's at 8. He says, Gary, come down. I go to the valet at the levee, and he's got this brand new Lexus, beautiful. He goes, all right, hey man, I'm giving it to my girl. He goes, I didn't know how to make sure she was here. So when she was at the show the week before, spur of the moment, he goes, giving away a Lexus next week because he wanted to make sure she showed up.
Right.
So I said, all right. I said, look, we're doing a raffle. I'll pull her number. Even if it ain't her number, I'll say it's her number.
Right. Just pull it out and say her name.
Yeah. This dude, this is where he fucked up.
Uh-oh.
He wanted to get sentimental. So he goes, hey, y'all, I know last week I told y'all I was giving away a Lexus. He said, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a drawing. And if we draw your number, we're going to draw 2 numbers. One number is tickets to the game next week.
Yeah.
And he goes, the other number is if the Bengals go to the Super Bowl, because they were good that year.
Yeah.
If they go, I will get you 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. And that's what we're going to raffle. He goes, but the Lexus, this girl's been down for me. She's done da-da-da-da-da-da. He goes, so, baby, I had to get you here. I didn't know how else to surprise you. So the car is yours. And people were crying and shit. This motherfucker got sued.
Oh.
A guy called and said, my son came home and told me about this, old white dude.
Right.
And said he tried to buy all the tickets. He did the math.
Oh, yeah. He was like, man, if I buy
$20 tickets.
Yeah.
350 seats, let's say.
Yeah.
$7,000.
Right.
He was like, they said, no, we put a cap on it. You could only buy 6 tickets.
Okay.
So he said, I bought 6.
He maxed out.
He said, so I feel, it was on the news. He said, I feel like I was lied to, taken advantage of. So he sued Chad.
For the amount
Lexus.
of the 6 tickets?
No, for the Lexus.
And won.
Right? No, this is what they did.
Okay.
I got served
Jesus.
at the club a couple months later. I'm sitting there, guy goes, Gary Owen, guy goes, you're served. I went, I got subpoenaed, had to go to court, right?
Yeah.
I was more offended when the guy goes, yeah, the host, he was a funny guy, didn't know a name.
Oh.
So what they did was they said, the judge says, okay, we're going to divide 350 or 325, whatever it was,
The value of the ticket.
by $55,000.
So that everybody had an equal chance.
Yeah. So all you had to do, you had to show your receipt and you had to show you were there.
Yeah.
And then I think Chad ended up having, I think he paid for like 18 tickets because most people didn't give a shit. Most people weren't going to do
Oh, they
that.
tried to like class action for everybody in the room.
Yeah. So
This kid had 6 tickets though.
Huh?
He had 6 tickets.
That guy had 6.
Then
So
the
he
car
was eligible for
350,000.
6. So what's 6 divided by 55?
Was the car 55,000?
55,000. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Like I was there. I went to court. I saw it.
Right.
What's 55,000 divided by 325, let's say, or 350, whatever. I think it was 325. So
$169.
$169.
So he had to give the kid $1,000. $1,000.
It was the old man. So 169 times 8 times 6.
Yeah, $1,015.
All that. He went through all that.
And in court, and then he had another $10,000 in legal expenses.
Yeah. And I think it ended up, I asked, and they was like, yeah, I think Chad had to pay like 18 people, 18 tickets. Not 18 people, but 18 tickets. And I was like,
It'll make you never want to give out shit.
And I told, I remember I was shooting college when they called me and said, here's your court date. And I called Chad, and Chad has never raised his voice, never, nothing. I said, hey, Chad, this is Gary. I said, might want to get a lawyer. I don't think he's going away. He might give a fuck about that. I think he hung up on me. I was like, okay.
Right.
And he didn't show up to court. I know that. I know I did.
Got it.
He didn't have to do nothing. But I was like this, man, people, you saw the worst.
And they showed
people.
up, the kid and the dad, they're all there.
I don't know. I just went, the day I went, I just gave my piece and dipped.
Right.
I don't even know what the guy looked like.
Right.
That sued him. I think
But
could have been
you
that.
used to and told him like this was, look, it was always for his girl.
Yeah, he said that.
Right.
Chad said that. And I was like, I tried to tell him like,
Cancel the giveaway entirely. Wait a week and then do the ticket giveaway. We had an issue with the Lexus, so we're canceling that giveaway. We'll refund you your tickets that you bought.
That we did say that.
Yeah.
The club said we'll refund you the tickets. The guy was, nah, I want that car.
Right. He thought he was going to sue his way into a Lexus.
Yeah. I bet you most people didn't even know.
Didn't know that was going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, or they were like, what the fuck? Why would I?
Not doing all that if I bought 2 tickets. But keep in mind,
I'm not going to court and it's for that. Like, I'll fuck. Black people don't trust the entire system.
Right. But we were sold out anyways.
Right, but
those
I'm saying,
shows were sold out
if you were
anyways.
a raffle buyer, whatever, also there's another thing is like the show sold out anyways.
We were going to be sold out
regardless. You
regardless.
didn't need this kid as a promo to pack the room.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a guy trying to give out a vehicle and make it fair for everyone that's in the room. You went and did the numbers and saw, okay, if I buy $7,000 worth of tickets, I get a $55,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
We cap it at 6, so now you only have a 6 out of 350. It's worth a try. But then what's more valuable? Tickets to the Super Bowl or
that car?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And you don't know what kind of seats Chad would have got. Chad would be like, hey, ownership, give me whatever seats equal $55,000.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this kid in those seats.
When
There's people like that, man. They hear those giveaways. Did you see the court case where the guy the radio station was fucking around and they were like, whoever gets a tattoo of our call sign on your forehead gets $50,000 or something.
Okay.
No, we're just fucking around, guys. Don't
Somebody did it?
This motherfucker was in court. It was like XKLR. I just
Baltimore?
feel like it wasn't very clear.
Was that 98 Rock?
I don't know. I
in
think
Baltimore?
so.
I think I heard that story.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy was literally, and he had on a hat, and they're like, so like, how far did this go? Like, how much did you believe in the promo? He's like, how much did I believe? How much did I believe? Yeah, it's like, fucking.
People are out here, man. Like opportunists, desperate.
Yeah, he was
that
like,
shit.
He's like, I was washing my car. I heard him say it. And I just grabbed my keys, went to my tattoo buddy. I was like, bro, told him what was going on. Argue with him where he was like, why the fuck would they do this to somebody? It's not real. Call the station. I ain't calling shit. I'm going now. I ain't got time to call him. Tattoo on his forehead, shows up at the door with the cellophane wrapped around his head over his tattoo. They're
Listen.
Like, holy shit.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like, they're going to give away $100,000 if I get a tattoo on my head? Come on.
I'd imagine it's possible.
Depend on the radio station. Howard Stern, maybe.
But the fact that he ran off while they're like, we're most definitely playing. Like, so that's how they got out of it. The radio station was like, it's a 30-second ad. And we were playing, like, we'll play the snippet. It plays out loud. And it was like, man, people out there will do anything, man, for anything. They think, hey, hey, we'll give you $50,000, you get a tattoo on your forehead. Yeah. Hey, by the way, don't do no stupid shit like that. He was like, yeah, I cut it off right after they said.
That's not their fault?
Right.
God, what an idiot.
So there he was. So the judge awarded him the amount of money it takes to remove the tattoo from his forehead.
It's fair.
Yeah, but tattoo removal leaves like an ashy, weird spot. So he still has.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid motherfucker.
He got to try and get it covered or something. There's a guy out there right now with 4 letters on his forehead, faintly.
People are stupid.
Faintly on his forehead.
Ugly and stupid, man.
I did a giveaway one time that I low-key regretted. So I think I was on TikTok Live or something. And I'm like announcing my dates, just like, as I already started pushing the dates. I'm like, yo, I'm going on tour, I'm like, you know what? Let's do a giveaway. Let me give away a couple of tickets to a show. I'm like, all you gotta do is live in the same city and come down to the place. Your name will be on will call. There'll be 2 tickets for you. I'll even make sure that they're in the roast zone, right? So I'm on there. This is why I don't drink on live either, because I started getting so saucy, right? I'm like. So people in Alaska or anybody that like went and looked at the shows and was like, yo, you're not in Detroit or you're not in, you know how they do. You're like, oh, really? The whole tour and you ain't got no da-da-da dates or whatever. So I didn't have anything in New Mexico at all. I didn't have anything in, I didn't have anything in New Mexico. Anyway, so they're like, what about us that don't live in those cities? I'm like, get to the city and I got you. They're like, Nate, get him to the city. I'm like, what do you mean get him to? Oh, you guys mean like an all expense paid, just get like fly you in, all that kind of stuff? Like, yeah. Fuck it. Let's go.
What were you drinking?
I don't know. Courage. Shit.
Courage by Ciroc.
I did it. And so it was so crazy. Like I did it and then I was like, let's do another one. Like I did 2. The first girl couldn't make it. The second lady could. She was cool. She was actually really pretty. Married, pretty, real estate agent. So they did it, but I was like, that was too much responsibility. Like I struggled with the couple that couldn't make it. Like I struggled with trying to make, because they're like, we can't make it. Can we do another one? Can we do another one? And so I was like, I already extended myself. I already bought the shit. I already all that. Like, so I think at the end of the day, the couple that couldn't make it, they got like a travel credit for, I don't know, $600 just in their account somewhere. Because if you buy a ticket for someone, they have to give the credit back to you.
Okay.
And they just sat on it. So there's a couple out there with $600. I hope they went somewhere that gave them relaxation. But then the other lady showed up. And what was cool about her, she showed up. She was cool as shit. She brought her homegirl who had like the same like dope energy. They showed up to Phoenix, I want to say. And they were hella cool. Like they were like middle-aged, little, I don't want to say middle, I don't know what middle-age starts at, but they were like, let's say they were like 39 to 48. Like,
and they'll always come see you now.
Yeah, like sexy older white ladies. And they showed up, but then they made their boyfriend, their husband and the boyfriend for the other girl, they came and they had to pay. Yeah. So I was like, you get it. She was like, yeah. I'm a realist. Like, I know you were trying to like show love and all that. She's like, but this was a great time. We had fun. And I'm like, man, let me get you some drinks. So I like walked them over.
So they flew from Seattle, or where they fly from?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Somewhere hot. I think they went from Austin to San Diego.
Yeah, they weren't related to those people that came to Chad.
No. Not at all. But there's people out there that are even like that are really like that. Like they literally are looking for a promo. Like there was somebody that sued McDonald's because they just were like, I don't think there's a Broadway and a Park Place in this fucking McDonald's. Like I don't think.
What about remember the lady that sued McDonald's for spilling the coffee on her?
Yep, and won.
Hold on. That was the funniest. I was watching the Tonight Show and I can't remember the comedian's name, but that was one of the funniest jokes I heard on that. He goes, yeah, there was a 80-year-old lady who had coffee spilled on her lap. I go, and she sued McDonald's and won like $3 million. He goes, let me tell you, there's no 80-year-old lap worth $3 million on earth.
Right.
I was just skimming this side check.
What about
that was a good
that's
joke.
Good. Yeah. What about depreciation? Shit,
Yeah,
it's been
right?
off the lot for a long time. That's hilarious.
That's expired.
Right.
That lap is gone.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
$3 million.
Okay, on my podcast, I talked about the girl last month when I did your club.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to know your feelings on this since it's last month. So after I did your show, we do the Monday nights at your club. This girl came up and literally tried to critique my show. And this lets me know how clueless people are. It was probably the joke that to in my real set right now, not riffing, my real set.
Yeah.
It's my favorite joke to tell
Uh-huh.
because it's not a joke, it's a story.
Okay.
And it's like almost 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
But the payoff is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't believe this lady came up and goes, yeah, the deaf girl, you lost the crowd. You shouldn't have did that. And I'm going, what show was you at?
No, that was rocking.
Rocking.
Yeah.
And the payoff's so good. And
Yeah.
I've never heard a joke like it. It's a real story.
And it had callbacks.
Yeah, it's a real story too. So I go, why do people, I try to tell you all the time, if you've never been on stage, do not tell a comedian what he shouldn't talk about. Or if you've been on stage, I've gotten tags from open micers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'll listen because you've put yourself out there and went on stage. You're
Yes.
in our world. I had an opener in Marco Island, Captain Brian.
Uh-huh.
A hell of a button on a joke about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And he just came up to me like so humble. He goes, hey, Gear, I don't want to overstep anything. He goes, but I can't remember what the joke was. But that joke, he goes, man, maybe if you just say this at the very end, psh, he goes, I think it'd be, and then we literally went this, he goes, psh, I think it'd be a nice little button on it. Next show I tried it. I was like, oh
Damn,
shit.
it didn't work?
No, it worked.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
like this. I was like this. Oh shit. I said,
I got me
appreciate you,
one.
bro. It was a nice little, the joke already got a laugh, but it like put a nice little exclamation point on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But I don't know why people do that. I would never go to like Joe Burrow and say, yo, man, when you're
People
when
do
you're
that shit if you get the ball out 1 second earlier, bro.
yeah, when you got an 8-yard out,
Yeah.
he goes, you open up your hips too fast. Close it in. And that's what I can relate it to because I think someone like Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, they would listen to their backup. They're watching film together.
Right.
They listen to them.
Yeah.
They're doing it. Even though not at their level, they're still doing it. Same thing. I'll listen to an open micer.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do that.
I don't either.
Like, we're not going to listen to you. There's no way I would.
I can't keep from what I hear. Like if you say it, obviously I heard it. I don't know if I'm gonna adhere to it. But that person in particular is special. I don't mean like
Special needs?
no, I don't mean special
Not that far.
needs. Not that far, but like she's
She
like
can date one?
she could date a special needs person. So
Like
this is what it is. She's literally a genius, right? But doesn't read social cues very well.
So he's a nuke. In the Navy, we call them nukes.
Nukes?
In the Navy, anybody that was in the nuclear power program
Yeah.
were geniuses.
Yes.
Socially awkward, couldn't read the room. And when I was in boot camp, they
could
all
tell right away,
They
like-
all read the same. What do you do? Nuke? I was like, oh, you're gonna ace all the tests,
Right.
but you're a little different.
Yeah.
They could never march right.
Okay.
Like, we've never heard a nuke be a cadence caller. Left, right, left. No, it'd be like, left. So she would have been a nuke if she was in the Navy.
So she's very assertive, very opinionated. She's gonna tell you what she thinks and then doesn't give a fuck how you process it or if it was welcome. Doesn't ask if you want the information.
It was so.
But I like to keep some nukes around.
Okay. Why?
I think nukes make you better. Yeah,
Like
you got to deal with a little
your
bit.
jokes or a person like in life.
No. Like just they're looking at every fucking thing. They're sponges. They see it all, and then they're like, "I have an unfiltered 7 cents for you." Like, well, 7 cents. People give 2 cents. I'm giving you that 3 times 0.5. So 7 cents are coming. Are you ready for my? You know what I'm saying? And then if they've ever gotten to a place in life where like people actually do respect and appreciate the nukism or like the genius of it, then people take their word for gold. They know it's gonna be weird as shit. They know they're gonna come in and probably have a stain on their leg and sit awkward and not want to sit where everybody else who's come in your office has sat. They're like next to you. So I have something I want to take. Could you want to sit with it? I actually don't feel comfortable with it, but check it out. Let me tell you about, for instance, it also needs to be their expertise, not yours.
That part.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's in a field that they've like given like all their life to, the thing that they are experts at, almost everything they say is like just like a drip of gold. But as soon as they're like, I'm gonna apply my level of brilliance to another person's career path, that's where it's like, this is audacious, this is egotistical, and it usually doesn't even apply right.
But it's like when she came up to me, I go, that joke though?
Yeah, that one, yeah. And then you came up on the phone. Yeah. So I got my my favorite bit. It's the only joke I'm gonna do from here on out. Gonna open with it and then close with it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's I would say that's one of my superpowers is to be very subtle and throw shit back in people's faces and have them go, did he just walk in the room and do that? So me walking in your bar and she stand there and be like, yeah, that joke killed the night. Right. Yeah, it's now my closer. Thanks, bud. Fake phone call.
I don't know how subtle that is, but yeah, you definitely got some get back. But I would say, I keep a nuke, man. But it needs to be their field. Like, that's the best accountants. That's the best coders. That's the best,
Fortnite.
Players, or let's say like you're new to Twitch and you need to set up everything. A nuke is gonna be like, here's everything you need, every single link that you need, right? And then they help you, and it's precise. And then outside of that, they're like, but for dinner, what you should eat is. So you're like, fam, let's stop it at that.
I've already got you monetized
because I'm not eating stuffed rutabagas. Like, so what kind of advice is that? Yeah. So also, here's another thing that like they don't necessarily understand. This is a socially awkward genius, but they don't necessarily understand. They could, because they look at it enough, study it, and then get it and understand it. But unless you live and do like being on stage and selling a bit, like pushing a bit, you don't know how it is possible for us to say something fucked up or something disagreeable, but with enough personality, with said the right way, people take it. Mm-hmm. They don't even understand that, because if they said the same thing with no charisma, they get blown up every time. Does that make sense?
And that's good comedians. You'll see comedians that'll, they're just mean.
Yeah.
Good comedians take something that anybody else would say could be deemed as mean or be deemed as punching down. Mm-hmm. And the way we word it and the way we deliver it is like, it's very inclusive.
Right.
Sometimes hot button topics right now, obviously special needs, trans, any kind of disability. Mm-hmm. But that's what we do without punching down.
Yeah.
Very inclusive. There's some people there's other comedians that are just fucking mean.
Race
is always hot topic. Religion and politics.
I would say hot topic. I would say those are potential landmines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Abortion. If you got an abortion bit, that bitch better be written perfect. For real. And even then, a drunk person's gonna miss the idiosyncrasies of how you got this bit out and desensitized before you said each, and fuck all that. You know what I mean? Like, did you not just hear what I just said? You know what I mean?
Especially in liberal areas.
Okay.
Ooh.
Potentially. I feel like you add a little liquor to anybody. It doesn't matter. Independent, conservative, they're still gonna be like, if they miss it, they miss it. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I have a joke about it's a joke about playing Pie Gal, with a Vietnamese dealer. And in the bit, the Vietnamese dealer wins. Like, they get benign retaliation, which is one of the, like, I think it's one of the 30 types of payoffs from a joke. She wins. Now, we sent that shit to JFL 6 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. They were like, we love him, but we can't press go on the racist Vietnamese joke. I'm like, what? Listen, that bit murders. I'm talking the hardest people in the room laughing. One, Vietnamese. Two, any other Asian. Japanese people are like, this motherfucker's hilarious.
But that's the funniest accent.
Vietnamese?
I think across the board. Anything Asian. For a black person or white person to do it, or Asian? Mexican to do Asian,
it's pretty good.
I think they're the funniest. We do the funniest imitations of them
because we look like we just are the furthest from them. So to do it sounds nice.
They're just funny. Yeah, it's just funny.
Here's the thing: if you like dissect the humor in the phonetics of the American dialect of English. Pretty heady statement. But if you break it down, like a lot of consonants, those sounds, those hit harder. So if you're trying to have a singular word or a couple of words, like for instance, if I say Sean Combs' sex organ, that shit ain't funny. But you know what is funny? That shit you say.
Yeah.
Diddy dicks.
Diddy dicks.
Right. Phonetically, that's diddy dick. Like it's diddy, like diddy dick. Like diddy dick. Like that is phonetically funny. And we have been, because we've done it so long, we choose the funny sounding thing without even thinking about it.
Right.
We just do puffy penises. Like we think of the thing, you know what I'm saying? The person that's new to the stage, you're like, you got to find ways to, dog, that's funny, but you got to punch that shit up. See? And your brain goes right to things that go, so you put as many sounds. Yeah. Right?
Sean John Slong.
Right, but the person that's not on stage that doesn't do comedy won't even think to do it that way. Right. And if they did, they'd probably fuck around and say it early and not even know when to say it before knowing that Diddy Dick's got to be the last line.
Yeah.
Right? So where I say that to say it is not a far bridge to a lot of the sounds in like Chinese accents having a lot of the same phonetic humor to it. And then you literally don't look anything Asian. So when you do it, and if it's dead on, one, the Asians know, damn, he actually got that shit right. Like that really sounds like us.
Right.
Two, that motherfucker's just funny. You know what I'm saying? Then three, it's like that sound coming out of that thing is crazy. Like if you saw a hippo roar like a lion, you'd be like, what the fuck? Right? You see what I'm saying? So that's like you're watching a 300-pound black guy sound like a 110-pound Asian lady. You're like, what? And it's dead on. If you close your eyes, you're like, that motherfucker sound like the dealer. There's a respect to it, and then there's a humor to it. Also, there's a certain amount of deep you can go into it before it's like, hey man, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as it's surface level shit, like they'll rock with you. And so I could not believe the institution of funny. At that point in almost any comic's career, that's a caveat. That's a ranking. You know what I mean? I'm like, you guys don't see that? Mm-hmm. Did you listen to the bit?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but we listen with the ears of the Canadian audience, and they might not come with you on it, and we can't do might. I'm like, all right. Didn't book me. I ended up going through the Kevin Hart LOL thing. Mm-hmm. One, it destroyed. I definitely had a chip on my shoulder. Like, I bet this motherfucker works.
That had to feel good.
What? I'm talking dick jumped. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Look at him like this.
Killed. And whoever was whoever was the choice, I think that guy's not there anymore, but whoever was made that decision, like, I wish they were in the room to be like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't even done that on. That's not, the full joke isn't out anywhere. They have me being like, "Oh my," and that, which is like "fuck you" in Vietnamese, but they don't have the 8-minute bit of playing Pai Gow and it's great. So 1, I did do the joke. 2, I went to the showcase for the people that they did pick over me, and people were bombing. And
was it new faces back then?
Yeah,
new faces.
Mm-hmm. People had rough ones, and I was like, should have definitely probably should have hollered at your boy. Like at a point I was like, I could save this room. Like it was that bad, right? Like somebody got to pick this. Even the host wasn't giving to where.
You remember who the host was?
Nope, but they were not reset. It was a Canadian comic. I don't know who it was, but they weren't resetting the room. Like if somebody had a rough set, they didn't reset the room, so the next person had a great crack.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, but so not only that, there was a girl that went that was like, I don't know her name now, but she spent the entire 5 minutes describing how, and I can't make this up, how nasty her pussy looks. And she's like, at one point she leans over and she like is dangling 2 fingers. She's like, the meat curtains are like the dongles on a bulldog. Like that loose flappy meat on the side of a bulldog's mouth. Yeah. She's like, it's like Beethoven the Third after a 3-mile jog. Like just drizzling with drool. And everybody's like, oh shit. Somebody's like, can we cut the mic? Like in Canadian, like with that dialect, cut the mic, eh? Or whatever. But so I was just like, all right, my joke spooked you. That got through. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It gave me the perspective of like, bro, this shit is wildly subjective and motherfuckers don't know. Get the gatekeepers. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. How much comedy do you have to watch? How much bad comedy do you have to watch before it affects you being able to see a good, you know what I'm saying?
I think they should let comedians book it. We know. If we could take our feelings aside, like, cause there's personal issues that go with that. But I
didn't have a personal, I didn't know the person.
No, I mean, if you let the icons that aren't threatened, that are established, if you let like Chappelle, Damon Wayans, I think Nate Bargatze at this point, Sebastian, people like that, Bill Burr, let them pick the comedians. If you're on the fence, if you're like, hey, we got a joke by Nate Jackson. I'm not sure about the Vietnamese thing. And then we got this girl talking about her pussy lips or by a bulldog.
Yeah.
Watch them both. And tell me which one you think.
Yeah, it's only going to take 8 minutes of your time.
Yeah, be like this. Am I being oversensitive? Because we can do that.
Yeah.
You can take personal bias. I think you should definitely have comedians. At least you can't have a comedy festival and no comedians are making the decisions.
I think that I think there's some validity to that. I also think that there should be a space at the festival for the people who you were kind of that if they even make it that far in the process, right? Like if you all right, here go watch option A, option B, tell me what you think. Oh, option A. Bet. There should be something for option B. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I literally pitched and did at Moon Tower a whole showcase called Overlooked. And I called people that I thought were funny.
Overlooked.
It's called Nate Jackson Presents Overlooked.
Man, that's funny. As you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, I think those festivals are so big on discovering the new talent.
Yep.
There should be a category because it's almost like boxing. Boxers know we always hear about this people getting avoided. Someone like a Winky Wright.
Yeah.
No one wanted to fight. And then
Right.
Fernando Vargas said, I'll fight him. And then everybody went, who the fuck is that? Because he was fighting all those boys in Germany
Yes.
and England.
Yep.
And Winky Wright came over like, everybody like, whoa. But boxers knew.
Yeah,
but the public didn't.
They're sparring like that. If he ever get a light on him,
Yeah.
fuck.
Same way with comedians. There should
For
be.
sure.
There should be
That's how they use. And nobody's ever said it. I've never heard it said or encapsulated in a way where the one time it's a bio about Keenan Ivory Wayans or it's about A Living Color or something like that. And Robert Townsend was talking. And he's like, listen, there's a cohort of us all grinding, all making content, all writing, all shooting, all putting whole movies on our credit cards. We're all trying to get this shit done. When Fox called Keenan, we all knew, like, he's fucking out of there. Like you take that brain and put it over there at that, gone. And it gave us decades of culturally influencing comedy.
It still holds up to this day.
What?
Still funny.
The talent he's found. So I haven't seen that sentiment capital. Like, I know I'm one of them ones that if I get the right lane, it's out of there. Dave Chappelle, obviously. It's like, all of a sudden you're like, damn, there's just this big ass wave of dope shit coming up. Is it? It came out of nowhere?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So track and field is that same way. There's somebody that was just fucking around at practice and raced the fucking state champ and dusted him.
Right.
Or if there's somebody in the hood that getting 30 buckets at the park, but fucking is like, I can't take a standardized test for shit. And then you fuck around and see them, they're like, oh shit, they put him on a team in Europe. That team is under the Lakers.
It's almost
he's
like
gonna be I promise that guy's gonna be you know what I'm saying? You see it.
Have you ever heard of Hook Mitchell?
No, is that a real person?
Yeah, it's Bay Area legend. They said back when Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, when they was balling, they go, nobody was fucking with Hook Mitchell.
Really?
But drugs got him and crime. But they said he was like 5'10".
Yeah.
And they'd park a car.
Jump over the car.
Dunk it. They go, he won every dunk contest in California.
Wow.
And they said Brian Shaw, remember Brian Shaw?
Yeah.
He said when he was in Sacramento, they had a celebrity game. There was a dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian goes, get Hook. But he had a bigger plan. Brian was like, I wanted these NBA dudes
to see him.
To see this dude.
Yep.
To see if there was anything there, right? And he showed up fucked up. And he was like, fuck. And he went to jail for like stealing a purse. So should look him up. They should make a movie on him, but it'd be a tragic movie. Yeah. And there's been a documentary, but
and then he aged out of even.
Yeah, now he's aged out. But they said back in the day, they said ask anybody, Peyton, Kid, that whole era. They go,
Mitchell.
Nobody was fucking with Hook Mitchell on the playground.
Wow.
They was like, yo.
Yeah.
But it's similar.
But there's people like that in every thing. Like I said coding before, but there's like the nerds know the nerd. The nerds know the nerd that's like, fucking, dude, have you seen this person code? Like, we would code 24 hours and that guy would be done in 8 minutes. What happened to him? Yeah.
It's almost like you hear about these actors that we don't know about, but they're Broadway trained.
Brilliant actors. Yeah.
And it's like,
and then when one gets that spot, boom. You heard the thing with Denzel and Chadwick Boseman?
How Denzel was the scholarship that he didn't know.
Yeah.
And Chad never told him.
Well, he finally did on the award show.
But the first time he met him, he didn't be like, hey.
No,
man.
many times.
Huh?
Many times. He waited until
I'm saying he never
time.
Like the first time he met him was like, hey man, I'm this guy. He waited.
Because that's an in. Everyone around Denzel's like, what could I say to have a conversation? Chadwick had it.
Yeah.
In his back. Hey, I'm the guy that like never said it.
Held it.
Maybe he felt like, I'm not at the point of my career where it would seem like it panned out well. But when he did, Denzel was blown away.
Yeah. That's something I want to ask you. Because I'll tell you what I'm like, and I wonder if you're like this. When you're in this business, you're just coming up and you're bubbling. People know who's funny.
Yeah.
So I thought it was always awkward when somebody that clearly didn't know me, that was an actor or somebody that hopefully I would work with one day. When they was like, hey, this is Gary, man. He's a comedian. I was like, I hated that because I go, I don't know where to go with this. Because if they don't know me, I'm talking about on my way up.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be like, I'm like, hey, yeah.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I remember Keenan did that with Richard Pryor. Did you see that?
No. What did he do? What happened?
They did a tribute to Richard.
Okay.
This is probably like 92, 93. So he wasn't debilitating, but he was getting sick.
Yeah.
And Keenan goes, yeah, I met you one time, but I never wanted to meet you. He goes, because you were my hero. You were my icon. He goes, I wanted to meet you when I had a body of work that I could show you, to show you what I am.
Right.
And Keenan goes, so.
Wait. Keenan said that to
Richard Pryor.
So then Richard Pryor said something back to him?
This was on an award show. Keenan, it was honoring Richard.
Okay, so he just talked.
He's just talking. Okay. So he said, Richard Pryor, my name is Keenan Ivory Wayans. It's nice to meet you. That was fucking cold.
Yeah,
This was in Living Color. It was popping. He's like, so I'm.
And Richard was like, "Who's this nigga?"
I never. Such a. But Richard was like, oh, he was pumping and shit. But I was just like, oh, I said, I get it.
But here's what I believe. I believe everyone's watching. Ain't nobody. Everyone's watching everybody.
Now,
social media for
now
sure.
different. But back then, you get to LA, nobody knows you.
Watching everyone.
And
okay, but how many times have you been somewhere with more established acts as a once you had, let's say, arrived, and they're like, who's coming up? Who's hot? Yeah. How many times have you had your own agent be like, who's out here? Who's making noise? Mm-hmm. Your manager, hey, do you know who's popping right now? They know talent by talent. That is how they pay for homes, private school for their children. They get somebody that they didn't know about that's fucking popping in a region and that's ready to go boom boom. Like they know, right? So all the time. So then my thing for why I wanted to do Overlooked is I'm like, I see you.
Yeah, and you've been grinding.
Not only have you been grinding, you're a killer. Everyone let me tell you something. Definitively, people were like, this is the best showcase at this festival.
That was
all my acts.
What was the festival again?
It was Moon Tower, Austin, and it was a great festival.
Oh yeah.
I did a show I did one Overlooked at right downtown in the heart of the thing, and then I did another Overlooked at the Comedy Club.
Cap City?
Yes. Yeah. Packed, balcony packed, and the acts were crushing. Like they were going on stage like, you know when you introduce a motherfucker, like hand me this bottle of water, and you're going on, no, hand it to me. Like your introduction.
Hey, you got it for Nate Jackson.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. This is how they were taking the mic. You pass it back.
Hey, give it up for Nate Jackson.
Fuck it. So listen. I was like, yeah, let me go. And they were like, pow, 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 pow. Thank you, good night. Like, and then I go like, fuck. And while it's happening, we're in the green room. The next ones are all pacing. They're fucking like, because it literally fed to the spirit of I'm dope at this shit. They don't see it. I'm gonna show them why. The chip on your shoulder. It was chip on your shoulder. Introducing chip on your shoulder. And then the next one, introducing bigger chip on your shoulder. Introducing the chippiest chip of all chips on your shoulder. Introducing Mrs. Chip on your shoulder. Like, and they were like, it was amazing. And it's called Overlooked. And they legitimately were people who have long since should have been submitted. Everybody who's popped will tell you the story. Like, man, I feel like I should have gotten this thing, and right? Like, I'll tell you, I wish my dad would have let me mow the lawn younger than I was younger than he thought I should be mowing the lawn. But I was like, I'm ready. So by the time he thought I was old, I was like, nigga, fuck you. You mow the lawn.
Right.
You should have let me do it when I was 11 and inquired. Like, how hard is it to walk behind a fucking lawnmower? But he's thinking you're gonna reach in it, cut your fucking hand off.
That's how I thought. That's how I would think with my kids.
Yeah, but I was like, I won't. I'm fucking ready.
Nah.
So by 13, when he was like, all right, get out there and mow that lawn, I was like, hey, you motherfucker. I have new interests.
What about this? Have you ever been on the road and now you're taking your guys with you? But before then, when you started headlining, and I don't know, were you just letting the locals, like the club, book the features?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there somebody that?
Or I'd be like, who's in the city that I already fuck with? Somebody from the Bay Area Black, or someone I know. I don't want to just be a stranger in my space. So I want to like kind of know. You know what I mean? Like,
my first shoot, 10 to 15. I wasn't
care.
concerned. But what I'm getting at is is there anybody that has popped or maybe hasn't popped that went up and you went, and it don't mean you had a hard time following? I'm not getting at that. I'm like, you were like,
I see it.
Wow.
Matt Rife.
Oh, duh. Sorry about that. I can't top it.
Literally.
My name was like this. No, I can't top that one. That was a good one.
Matt's tough. But it wasn't this stuff.
Yeah, but you saw something there.
I was like, this motherfucker is young, gorgeous, and actually really clever and funny and has a heart.
And personable, yeah.
Right. And I said, fuck.
When it happens.
And then he got wilding out. And I was like, duh. That was where I was like, duh. All of this is like off of that duh. This is all, you know what I mean? He kept watering that plant. He kept on. Who was your person that you were like,
Tommy Johnigan, who's not a household name.
Wow.
But he opened for me in Hartford. And I'll never forget, I had a host. The host was a black dude. And the host would end as the host, before he brought up Tommy, with it was kind of a hacky music bit where he's dancing, but the crowd was kind of in hysterics.
Right.
And then you bring Tommy. You know, Tommy's very
chill.
He goes up there, he goes, the first night, he had a napkin. He took off his glasses, he wiped them. And he goes, yeah, these next 30 minutes ain't going to be that. Ain't going to be no dancing. I'm not doing all that. So I just want you guys to be ready. I was like, holy fuck, he just reset a ghetto room.
Yeah.
Right?
Reset.
This shit was black, and that was my audience at that time. And I was like, whoa, there's not a lot of W-2s here. Right?
Damn.
And it was like, he reset that room, and I go, fuck, he was so good.
Yeah.
I went to Starbucks just to talk to him about stand-up. I said, where you at? He came to Starbucks, and I go, all right, I'll meet you up there. He goes, all right. Went up there and just bullshit. Where you from? I was just interested in him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, and then it was like, shortly after that, you know, he had a couple development deals.
Nice.
And I think he shot a pilot.
Okay.
Just didn't go, but I was just like, there's something there.
He's still out here.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying, but he isn't a household name like Matt Rife. Nobody is right now. But I'm saying, a guy that when I saw it, I go, he's going to be doing this for a long time in this business. And some people are going to know his name. The other one.
You can tell when, like, it's easier to see when somebody ain't going to make it. You're like, yeah.
Oh, the hacky shit? That you see, I don't know the
Even
host.
if it ain't hacky, it's like, you're just like, yeah, see.
I don't know the host. He was probably ripped harder, but I was like, the shit Tommy's
saying. That host is probably a household name in that market.
Yeah. But the shit Tommy's doing. The other one I would say didn't open for me, but when I saw Sebastian do Fat Tuesdays.
Which Sebastian?
Manicasco.
Okay.
When he did Fat Tuesday, and I was like, he did some Ray Charles shit.
Okay.
Remember in Ray, where the crowd's coming around, he goes, dim the lights. Shh, put the spotlight on him.
Okay.
Like down the side. It's exactly what Sebastian did.
Right.
They put him up. If there was 6 acts that night, he was 5th.
Got it.
Right? And I was like,
which is essentially being thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. And, you know, as a white guy at that time, I was the only one doing Fat Tuesday consistently, right? Okay. So when another white guy came in, I was always interested, like, oh, I wonder what he's going to talk about. I was never the white guy like, what are you doing in my territory?
Hilarious.
I was more like, oh, I got a buddy. So I saw him go up. Oh, I got somebody to go to Jerry's with. We can order matzo ball soup tonight. Right. I was never
what soup? What the fuck is it?
I was never threatened. I was like, hey, another guy, buddy. I was so inclusive, like late 90s.
Sebastian's so tough. A good matzo ball. Let's go.
He went up there, and that's the lights came on, and that spotlight hit him, and I go, the fuck? Right. That's different. And he's doing the same vibe, the same shit he's doing now, and he brought him in and killed. I'll never forget it. He did the hose. You want a water? I get that from the hose.
Right.
And then he goes, I got orange gina. The way he said it, I was like this. The fuck is this guy? And I was like, it was so good.
Yeah.
I was like, that guy's about to be, I don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. And this is when I first I knew he was about to be like, have you done the Taft in Cincinnati, the Taft Theater?
Yeah.
So I was doing the Taft. I used to do it every year for probably 4 or 5 years before COVID hit.
Okay.
Right? I always do one show, pack it out, just one. Sebastian was always, for some reason, for 2 years straight, he came close to when I was coming. Right. I saw him on the promo boards. Yeah. So I remember the one year I came and it was packed, and then Sebastian came and he did one show, and I'm sure it was packed. It was next year, 2 years later, I saw he had 2 nights at the Taft. I went, oh.
Needle move.
Somebody's kind of taking off a little bit. I go, he's doing 2? Right. Or it was either 2 nights or 2 shows. I go, oh, he's doing 2?
Right.
Oh, I guess that Orgina shit hit.
Right. Fuck. Trying to sell out my 1.
Right.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah.
I had a couple phone calls like that. Like Scruncho called me. It was like, nigga.
What? But you were selling tickets?
Uh-huh.
Nigga, look, I got Big Nate, nigga. I got a one nighter at the Ontario Improv, man. I go on the motherfucking website, see how they got a nigga looking on the site, you know. Nigga, I'm like this. I'm wrong with my computer. Nigga, I shut it down, turn it back on. This nigga got 11 shouts. Whatever you need, nigga, let me know.
That was
I mean it, like the OGs that's hating on you. Let me know. I'll knock them out, nigga.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Scruncho like that? We gotta get out your way, nigga. We gotta get out your way, nigga. I'm gonna call you back. You gonna tell me everything you did, though. I'm like, all right, yeah. No, everything, whatever the fuck.
I think it's a great way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, we gonna close this shit out.
Anybody in the way, we gonna knock them out.
Yeah, just before we get out of here, July 12th, I'm doing one show in Vegas, not like Sebastian doing two.
You guys sound like Scruncho. I'm trying.
I can't do Scruncho.
He's got a very interesting sound.
Okay, we'll close with this. Oh, this is too good. You'll appreciate being Scruncho. This is like 98. So my roommate at the time, Terrence, had a one-nighter in San Diego.
Okay.
And Scruncho came down and did it, and I hosted it.
Yeah.
And there was some girl that did poetry. We're riding back to L.A., so I'm in the passenger seat. My roommate's driving. Scruncho's in the back seat next to this poet. And and Terrence was like, "Hey, man, tell some of your poems." And it was all like, my pussy juice is like strawberries. It was that type of shit, right?
Right.
And she's just doing all these sexual poems, and Scruncho's in the back. He goes, "Oh shit!"
She took him there.
Yo, he was hyping her up. He goes, "Oh shit, yeah, strawberries." I'm a berry man myself.
Oh shit.
I like a good
I'll
strawberry.
never he was in the back. Oh shit.
That's funny as fuck.
All right, y'all. This episode brought to you by Scruncho.
Yeah. Look, but for me, LA, the 27th, the 28th, San Francisco, Masonic Theater. So those are the dates. Go to NateJacksonComedy.com, get your tickets.
Man, oh yeah, mine's GaryOwen.live.
And make sure you check out Get Some, and make sure you check out Opinionated.
Boom. There you
Peace.
go. Later.